duty, ready to rock and roll!
It's the Mini Kaiju and Kaijin Bio Series. I'm the Toku Professor, and in this video we'll be covering both a Power Rangers monster and a Super Sentai Kaijin, for the simple reason that they are one and the same villain. Known as Dora Tortoise in Japan and as Shellshock in the USA, this comical creature with a traffic signal on his back will make for an unforgettable class. Let's go! Like most of the original Power Rangers monsters, Shellshock originated from Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger. He appeared in episode 24, which aired on August 7th, 1992, and would unfortunately end up being the lowest rated Zyuranger episode. This episode was written by screenwriter Naruhisa Arakawa, who already had 6 Jetman episodes and 1 other Zyuranger episode under his belt, and who would go on to become a very prolific writer for the Super Sentai series. Shellshock, or Dora Tortoise I should say, appears to be a product of this man's imagination. Artist Ryu Noguchi, who'd been working on the Sentai series much longer, was the man behind the design. Here's concept art of the Kaijin. Art was also made of the turtle with a cannon sticking out of his shell instead of his head. Osamu Kato provided the voice of Dora Tortoise. By the way, Dora Tortoise is named after Bandora, his boss, and if you don't know where the tortoise part of the name comes from, sorry, I can't help you. Time to see what this villain was up to in Zyuranger. 2 of Bandora's henchmen felt they had to do something big to impress her, so they sneakily inserted a clay tortoise, a tiny traffic light, a baseball and bat, a cannon, and some other items into the Nindora machine to create their own Kaijin. They then took their new creation, Dora Tortoise, down to Earth to wreak some havoc. The monster wanted to hit Boy, aka Tiger Ranger, with his green light ray first, but accidentally hit a group of children playing dodgeball, which caused them to not be able to stop acting like they were playing. An angry Boy decided to fight back, but this time Dora Tortoise didn't miss, and the yellow Zyuranger dashed away, unable to stop running. Dora Tortoise was able to hit a few more victims before the other Zyurangers were able to locate him, not far from Tokyo Tower. The turtle first demonstrated to the Sentai team his baseball slugging talent, and then prepared to use his red light ray to immobilize the Rangers. Suddenly, Boy dashed into the scene and shoved Geki aside, saving him from the ray, but the other 3 Zyurangers were frozen in place. Dora Tortoise tried to finish Geki off with his cannon head, but Geki dodged the shot and fired back, forcing Dora Tortoise and his masters to retreat. Before the Kaijin reappeared, Geki was able to discover the tortoise's weakness to a certain type of flower and alert Boy, who ran off to search for the mountain the plant grew on. Only one under Dora Tortoise's spell could see the mountain, so it made sense to give the task of finding the flower to Boy, while Geki tried to fend off the now giant Dora Tortoise's attacks for as long as possible in the guardian beast Tyrannosaurus. Boy secured the needed flowers, but meanwhile Geki was really taking a beating. Dragon Ranger called for his mecha, Dragon Caesar, to assist his brother, and Dora Tortoise pretended to give up, but then cowardly hit the 2 mecha with his red light ray, freezing them in place. But Boy arrived just in time and dusted the Kaijin with pollen from the flowers, freeing everyone from the monster's spell. The 2 dino mechas were then able to finish the turtle off forever. Well, not quite forever. Fast forward to October 11th, 1993, the air date of the 22nd episode of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, The Trouble with The Trouble with Shellshock. Shellshock was Dora Tortoise's new Americanized name. Stuart St. John and Julianne Klim were the writers responsible for bringing Shellshock to Western audiences, and Richard Epcar provided the turtle's voice in his first role. Richard would go on to play quite a few roles in other media too, such as providing the voice of the Joker in the Injustice video game series. Other than a few obvious Super Sentai to Power Rangers adjustments, Shellshock's role in this episode was largely the same as Dora Tortoise's, except he only attacked the Power Rangers, who were playing basketball. Being a turtle, he also threw in a reference to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He was the first monster not to be created by Rita or Fenster. There's not too much else to say about his appearance in episode 22, but what is really interesting is that Shellshock also showed up for just a second on the Island of Illusion alongside a few other monsters in episode 28, which implies that Saban either was given permission to reuse the Japanese suit, or a completely new one was made, which I doubt considering how briefly the suit was used. Anyway, after this brief little appearance, the traffic light tortoise has not been seen again, whether in Japan or anywhere else. I'd cover merchandise for the character next, but there really isn't any. It's amazing and disappointing how many Kaijin Bandai and other toy companies refuse to give the green light to. Pun very intended. Other than this trading card of Shellshock, I couldn't find much of anything. Perhaps this video will ignite a spark that results in a figure someday. Or if that is dreaming too big, hopefully this class at least provided all you Power Rangers and Super Sentai fans a few minutes of entertainment. If so, please like, subscribe, watch my other videos, let me know what monster you'd like to see next, and tell all your friends. This was a fun class. Maybe I should just keep going. Yeah, why stop? So Dora Tortoise and Shellshock are... Okay, never mind.